There we go. Well, apparently it's morning. Haven't really slept and all that, but oh yeah, that's right. I can actually have. I remembered. I actually saw one of my older videos, and I remember, or actually I saw that on the video that I could actually just turn the video camera around here. Well, as you can see, it's pretty. It's just morning, and of course in Denmark it's always gray. It's very depressing, and it's sadly not only gray. It's also usually moist in the morning, which actually seems to be bad for for some of my issues. I guess I guess fungus like moist things and all that. Anyway, which I think is one of my issues. Any case, yeah, I've been drinking a lot of alcohol in my youth when I was younger. Stupid idea, really, really stupid. Don't waste your life with alcohol. I wouldn't suggest it. I was, you have, of course, this is not the only life if you believe in Jesus Christ. But there's no idea in actually making it worse. You have your whole life, and in front of you. So if you're just going to drink and all that, and it's just a bad excuse to say that, oh, I could die, I could be run over and all that. Yeah, but you could maybe also, who knows, live 100 years, in any case. Of course, if you believe in Yeshua and all that, you might be killed as well. But you might also, have a long life where you can witness for Christ, who knows. In any case, stupid idea to drink. Really, really, really stupid idea to drink, that's for sure. Anyway, so getting back to the Antichrist, listening to, one of these guys that, I have had trouble with, but I'm getting more and more convinced that he actually, became a Christian. There's a lot of things that he says that are actually true, and it's incredible. So anyway, it just seems some of the things that he said was just so extraordinary, I guess. But learning more and more about the things and studying the Bible and all of that, more and more things are just. So anyway. We have the whore riding the beast, and the whore riding the beast is Rome. This in regards of mystery, Babylon, in regards of confusion, and she's the mother harlot in this world, and she rules over the kings of the earth. Now, which city rules over the kings of the earth? There is one. There is one. In any case, this system, this religion, is actually just the Roman mystery religion in regards of paganism. As far as I can see in regards of prophecy and also looking into history, this system was already there long before Yeshua actually came into the world. Well, long, but it was there from the beginning of Rome in regards of the kingdom of the Roman, what shall we say, country or whatever. It started out as a kingdom, and you have many other government types throughout, the ages. But the whore rides all 7 heads. So if she's riding on all the 7 heads, and as we know, 5 have already been, according to John, well, then it seems like she was already there from the very beginning of this beast. So it's, going back in history and all that, yeah, the Pontifex Maximus, as far as I can see, in regards of information from, for example, Wikipedia, says that the Pontifex Maximus got his, what shall we say, orders or, instructions from the second king in regards to Rome. So that's pretty much at the very beginning, the second king of Romanism. So the Pontifex Maximus has been there for a long time, and thereby the system as well. This Roman pagan system, So we just see, later on, she just drops her clothing in some sense and takes some so-called Christian clothing on, and now she says, oh, she's a Christian. And it couldn't be further from the truth, and she's deceiving the whole world. Yeah, I guess Satan does deceive the whole world, right? Pretty much of the whole world. And again, we've talked about that before. It's billions of people. It's not just millions or anyway. It's billions, It's a huge amount of people getting deceived in this world. And the ones that should stand for the truth are now running back to the Antichrist. If we are not going to stand for the truth, who is going to stand for the truth if not the Christians? And now the Christians are running back to the Antichrist. They don't even know who the Antichrist is. I don't know if they don't read the scriptures anymore. I guess I've had a couple of years being able to study a lot of things. But we really haven't done our job in regards to studying the scriptures, That's for sure. We haven't kept the truth alive, because if we had kept the truth alive, we would actually have had it still, But apparently we have come to a point where we don't care about the truth. And thereby we have lost a lot of it. It's very, very, very sad. Now, if you have the truth, it's a lot easier actually to keep the truth than to regain the truth, because you then need to find out what the truth is. And you need to research a lot of things and this and that. But if you had been instructed in the truth from the beginning, you wouldn't need to do these, to research the things, because, your parents might have instructed you in the truth. And as if your parents instructed you in the truth, you could be concerned about other things than actually trying to research what is actually, going on in this world. Any case, the papacy, the office and seat of the papacy, is the prophetic, biblical, historical Antichrist. Now, the last one being in that office will be the one that Yeshua cast into the lake of fire when he returns. This is scripture that talks about these things, talks about the beast being cast into the lake of fire. And the beast have a number, and it's 666, and it's a number of a man. All roads leads to Rome and the Antichrist. Now, in the future, of course, Rome will be destroyed as far as I can see. But that is still future. So as long as that is future, we still have the issue of, of this Roman Catholic system. It seems, you get pieces and puzzles and all that. But, it does seems like, that the world is preparing for this, this new world order, where the Antichrist will sit, at the head of this system. But in any case, and I guess at that point he won't have need of the, of the whole anymore, and thereby it will be destroyed by the 10 kings who give their power to the beast, So, but, even if they give their power to the beast, God still uses these 10 kings, to do his bidding in regards of destroying the whole, in regards of judging her and, burning her and, making her naked or something like that and burning her. In any case, you can read that in the book of Revelation and all that. So we see again God actually using worldly powers to do his will in the future. So, is it important to know who the Antichrist is? Yes, I think it is a very important thing. And why would that be? Well, when you become a Christian, you have to be aware that there's a lot of wolves out there with sheep clothing. Now, one thing is to point out a wolf. That should be easy for us anyway. It's apparently in our fallen times, it doesn't seem like professed Christians are, what shall we say, apparently have lost discernment in regards of even wolves. But wolves in sheep clothing are the things that are the problem in regards to deception and deceiving us. So when you become a Christian, you have to be aware that these wolves in sheep clothing are out there, as our master warned us about. He was warning us about, wolves in sheep clothing, and that warning us that we should not be deceived, and in regards of people coming that might even if possible deceive the elect. So we're talking about a great what shall we say, something we shouldn't take, something we shouldn't take lightly. We should take it seriously. So, and now looking at the Protestant world, the so-called Protestant world, and how it's running back to the Antichrist, it's really disturbing it's really, really disturbing to see what is going on in this world. And no one seems to speak to, the Christians about, hey, the Pope is the Antichrist. This unholy faker is not the head of the Church of Christ or the congregation of Christ. The head of the Christians, the children of God, is Yeshua, Jesus Christ. It is not an old man sitting down in Rome in his seat, thinking, he rules over the whole world and all that, having been given, the seat and power and dominion by Satan. That's, you really have to be aware that, are people leading you to Jesus Christ, or are they leading you to the Antichrist? You see the problem here in regards of all, Satan has pretty much, it's a grand deception for the Christians, to catch the Christians off guard and lead them in the wrong direction. It's very sad, Satan have a deception for everybody, it seems, on so many levels, deception after deception after deception. So even if you get out of Satan's candy shop in regards of the occult, and some other religion and all that, you can't just lay back and say, oh, I found Jesus Christ and everything is wonderful and whatever. Of course, it's nice that you found Jesus Christ, but you should expect Satan to try to take this precious pearl from you, and take it away from you, and to try to deceive you and try to lure you in his direction again. And, there are so many ways he will try to deceive you. And thereby, it is important to study the scriptures and, grow in them and grow in the truth. And that's, I guess you could probably study things for, the whole life. But the thing is, the more you study, the more the more things, you get them to click, and something to be true, the harder it gets for Satan to actually deceive you. So it is a very important thing to read the Bible and study it and be careful of Paulus, also named Shaul. Yeah. Again, Yeshua warned us about wolves in sheep clothing. They might speak a lot of truth, but they might mix it with lies as well and lead you in the wrong direction. And and that seems to be a problem for a lot of Christians nowadays. So, if people are leading you to the Antichrist, I would turn around and, look for someone else to listen to or something like that, or just listen to our master in regards to the New Testament and all that, and don't listen to these wolves in sheep clothing distorting the scriptures and what Yeshua is saying and all that. They're very, 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 very good at it. Very good at it. They're very sleek, Satan is not stupid, and neither is his demons. I don't know if there's stupid demons out there as well in regards of, but those that I had contact with when I was in Satan's candy shop, or the broad way that leads to destruction, those that I had contact with was not stupid. They are very, very clever deceivers, and the deceptions was very, very deep, and people, there's a lot of people out there in the world that is in these deceptions and are being deceived by these demonic, entities. And of course, the atheist will say, we have a lot of atheists in Denmark. They will say, oh, no, it's there's nothing and blah, blah, blah and all of that. Well, that's a little hard to tell people that actually have the experience of having had contact or having contact with these beings. So when you are believing atheists, just remember, just because you have not experienced something does not mean the things does not exist. And it just seems like believing atheists, and I was one of them, before I got into Satan's candy. Well, I actually was in Satan's candy shop, but before I entered the occult, and began trying a lot of things and studying a lot of these stupidities, and being led into more and more demonic doctrines, which was not true. The New Testament, when I began to read the New Testament and the words of Yeshua, I began to question the things that I had been shown, and in regards of a lot of the doctrines that I had. And, it might have been, what shall we say, less, I guess. I had it pretty good in my occult days. Satan was, I think, pretty happy because I was promoting a lot of his doctrines and all of that. But it seems to gets harder when you become a Christian. The battle is ongoing. You become a Christian, and the battle, there's a battle going on. Satan wants you back, or he wants you to not tell people or stop you, or or kill you and destroy you and so forward. There's a battle going on. The thing is, the there's a lot of people that do not know that there's a battle going on. Yeah, so in regards of souls, we're talking about in regards to the second death and so forward. So, but anyway, the Antichrist, of course, is, what was it? That was a good word for it. He actually, I just heard in regards of it. And I guess that actually seems to be a very good word to use. Maybe I should see if I can find the word. I think I wrote it down. There's a lot of good words. There's a lot of words that I did not know anything about. And then I became a Christian, beginning to read the Bible and all that. I was like, why don't I know these? Why don't I know these words, And I have no idea, why I didn't know these words, Dynasty of the Antichrist, I guess, in regards of the office and seat of the popes and the unholy fakers, Each one of them is just in this system, prophetic, wicked system who, that persecutes the saints. And who is the saints? Well, the saints are those that keep God and protect the commandments of Jehovah and the testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach, or Jesus Christ. So who persecuted, or who persecutes still, the saints? Well, of course, she's, in our day, she's singing sweet, what shall we say? She's... she's trying to lure the Christians to her bed. And it seems to be working pretty good because a lot of the Christians are running back to her. It's very, very sad to see, because they should know better. They should read their scriptures, right? And know some history and, it's just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Satan just deceives the whole world. Yeah. And I do wonder how, it's really is a great deception, It's really, just mind-blowing to think how we could actually get to the point of not knowing who the Antichrist is. It's just mind-boggling how we could have lost so much history, true history, to, how they have adulterated true history, They have just given us a lot of, twisting of history and not, telling, not giving us the truth. It just seems it seems totally outrageous that this could ever happen. Yeah, that's exactly what has happened. It just seems totally outrageous. How could it ever happen, how could the whole world, fall asleep again? It's incredible. So we have some, what shall we say, interesting times at hand, because we could actually be a lot closer than we, might, in regards of the end and all that. But, things could go very, very quickly at some point, You see sometimes in history where it just takes speed in regards of stuff, and it could, take a speed very quickly, so... But anyway, like for example, if you're a former Mohammedan and you come out, well, Satan is just awaiting you, right? With open arms in regards of maybe the Catholic whorehouses, the Universalist whorehouses, or the Orthodox whorehouses, and, others out there trying to lure you away from the truth. And you, of course, have the fake witnesses that will try to lead you away from, the true version of Yeshua, that he is actually God Almighty. And then, of course, you have the Mormons, which have their own 3 books. And so, you have a lot of deceivers out there that will, come by maybe after you become a Christian and try to get you in the wrong direction. Anyway, so it's I think it's pretty important to know where the Antichrist is. Now, of course, I could be a wolf in sheep clothing, and thereby you out there, if you're listening to it and don't know who the Antichrist is, need to study the Bible and study, in regards of prophecy. The book of Daniel and the book of Revelation are the two books that pretty much have opened up and pointed to where we find this. We both have it in the book of Daniel, and you get a lot of keys to understand a lot of the things in the book of Revelation by reading the book of Daniel. Just growing in the Bible. The more you study the Bible, the more you get to, understand the ways of the Bible in regards of things, and it begins to open up more and more and more. It's not like if you read for example, the four books of the Gospel, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, it is, you still get a lot of information, a lot of good information, but you won't little by little, or maybe, get out of my system and begin to read the Bible from a biblical perspective instead of my, ideas that I've got from outside. And you grow by you grow in the Bible by studying the Bible, reading the Bible, and thereby learning from the Bible. And thereby you will begin to be able to discern more and more. And there's a lot of, even if you become a Christian, you might actually end up following some of these lies and deceptions put out by Satan and all that. But don't give up just because of that. Just when you find out that you have been deceived in one direction or something like that, just and at the beginning, you are, I guess, very vulnerable. What is it called? Vulnerable? 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 I'm not sure if I'm saying this correct, but, not knowing, turning to Jesus Christ, yet not knowing much of the Bible, and thereby having, again, it's just... there are more, what shall we say, when you begin to learn more and more from the Bible in regards of doctrines, but again, as long as you're seeking the truth, just if you fall into something that is wrong, just get back on the track and all that, turn around, get back on the track and continue. There's a lot of outside books that people will try to get you to read as well. And the thing is, how are you to discern or have any, what you call it, measurement? What is it called? That's another word. How are you to, what is the word? How are you to, the groundwork in regards to the Bible, and you read outside stuff? How are you to discern if that book is actually telling you the truth or not? You don't have anything if you haven't read the Bible. And I made that mistake. I read a book that is called the Book of Yasha. I had absolutely no way of discerning if what I was reading was true or not. And that's a problem. That's a big problem, because I don't think the book of Yasha is actually valid. Torah, the first 5 books of Moses and so forth. So I ended reading that and some of the other, books, and, it's not to say that you can't read outside sources. We have a lot of, Christian sources as well. You just have to be aware that the enemy would come and sow the bad seeds. So you have to be aware in regards of things that look like, you have to discern, and thereby you need to go back to the Bible and, grow in the scriptures, studying the Bible, and thereby, if you just read the Bible and use time on the Bible, you will, you should, learn more and more from the source material, so it's just, yeah. So Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John are the 4 books about the gospel about Jesus Christ, of Yeshua HaMashiach. I think that's pretty much the center point of the whole Bible that is, very important. Because when you know who Yeshua actually is, that's pretty much then when you know who the market, Satan has filled the market with false versions. Now, in regards to the 2 worst versions that are false out there, I think must be the Roman Catholic version, the cookie Jesus, the wafer God of theirs, and the only prophet Jesus of the Mohammedans. That seems to be the two most problematic versions of Yeshua, made up versions, because 1.2 billion, I can't remember how many it is. Anyway, maybe it was less actually. We can, of course, there might be some bad Catholics that are just, culture Catholics. Like we have culture Christians here in this country. Let's see how many Catholic, Catholic in the world. And Catholic just means universal in the world. So anyway, so if people are leading you to the triune tyrant, just be aware that that might not be a good thing. Actually, it's a very bad thing, and that's the what shall we say? Well, somewhat interesting thing that those that actually should stand for the truth from the podium and speak the truth and all that don't say anything. They don't. If they say anything, they're singing love songs to the Antichrist, to the unholy faker. Actually, to his what was it? His. I had 2 other. I need to check if I can find. I had another good name. I'm getting a little tired here, but I had 2 names in regards of. But anyway, let's see here where we go. How many is there? How many is there in total? Does it say in total? Yeah, that's great. But what in total? Do we get a total here? No. Oh, maybe this one, 2012. Well, 1.2 billion. Okay, I was pretty close on that then. So we have a lot of Romanists running around, a lot of papists, a lot of, people that sees that wants the Antichrist to, rule the world. And that's called, what is it called? Something with what is it called? Ultramontanist, that's the word. Ultramontanist. So we have we have papists, Romanists, ultramontanist out there, and you really have to be careful in our days. Well, of course they always have had to be careful in regards of this system, this wicked system. So we have 1.2 billion Romanists, and we have 1.8 billion Mohammedans. That's 3 billion people getting deceived by Satan. And the Mohammedans, might tell you, though we believe in Jesus as well. Well, no, they don't believe in Jesus. They believe in a false version, And there's a lot of those out on the market. But again, this would be one of the biggest versions of, one of the biggest false versions of Yeshua. And the Roman Catholic version is also very big. So you have the cookie Jesus and you have the only prophet Jesus, and both of them are false. So that's the two greatest deceptions, as far as I can see, or the two most popular deceptions of who Yeshua actually is. No, he's not a cookie, and he's not getting sacrificed again and again and again and again and again in the Catholic whorehouses for the dead and the living. No, 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 no. Yeshua died once and for all. That is why we break the bread and drink the wine, to remember what he did for us when the living bread was broken and his wine poured out for the sins of the world. It's not really that, I think, difficult to understand, but apparently if you're a Roman Catholic, it's very hard, and you will go by the lies and deceptions of this wicked system. So anyway, but if you just read the Bible and let our Master instruct you, I think everything will be okay. Don't listen, it might be best not to listen to, to all these people out there, and just read the words of Yeshua and let into truth. Instead of, getting all these things, into, your ears from all these wolves in sheep clothing and all that. And that's the thing, that's the danger when you become a Christian. That's pretty much the wolves in sheep clothing. It shouldn't be, they will say yes. Well, most likely they will say yes, we believe in Jesus. And then ask him, do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God? And if it's an honest Mohammedan, he will say, no. Actually, I think, sometimes that response will be really, no. Pretty, in any case. So they don't believe that Jesus is God's son. Then you could ask, do you believe that Yeshua was executed, on the tree? And they will say no. They should say no anyway, because that's what they don't believe that. So the perfect, spotless, sinless Passover Lamb of Jehovah. So they don't believe he was resurrected either after 3 days, because he didn't die according to them. So you see, we have some problems. And thereby it's very, very easy, or should be very easy, for a Christian to discern or neither have the Father. And thereby they do not have the Holy Spirit. So anyway, and any case. So it should be, pretty easy for Christians, if we are going to have a dialogue with the Mohammedans, and that might be the reason why they are getting, getting together and reporting, different Mohammedan sources to get them closed down and so forward, because they know in regards of a debate or whatever, they will lose, because they, to uphold the Allah, and Allah is absolute singular, and Allah does not have a son. They swear, when you become a Mohammedan, you swear on these things. And in regards of, Muhammad being, Allah's, prophet and all that. What did Yeshua say about swearing and that? That's, they missed that as well. And pretty much missed a lot of things, What did Yeshua say in regards of marriage? Well, in regards of one man and one woman is the perfect way to go. And so forward. So they missed the boat as well on that part. But anyway, so they have a lot of problems writing, including myself, getting censored, I've been, since, I've had so much deleted. It's incredible how much I've gotten deleted in my days of being a Christian and standing for the truth. Well, I've seen a lot of things, and it seems to be, some of these bigger chat sites and all that seems also to be on, doing, what shall we say, doing the will of the Mohammedans. Getting, deleting, censoring attack on, reporting for this and hate speech and blah blah, and thereby getting, so it's very sad, that they are, you know um, doing these things. But I think in Mohammedanism, and it seems actually we are growing in more information because more are researching these things, and thereby it's harder for the Mohammedans to hide the truth about their religion, and so it's if it's in regards of a dialogue and the debate, the truth wins out and the lies does not. Who knows if we're going to see a great revival of Mohammedans turning to Jesus Christ again. But then the problem is we have to help people turning to Christ, not ending up in regards of the whorehouses that is out there, who proclaims themselves Christians but bow down before images and idols and icons and cookies and whatever, and crucifixes, so we have to warn them about. We have to warn. We have to. Been given 5 coins, use those 5 coins. If you have been given 10 coins, use those 10 coins. Don't take the coins and dig them down in the ground and hide them. Use them. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. We have to do the best that we can to stand for truth. Let's say you understand that, that, by the way, of course, Sunday is the first day of the week. It's not the last day of the week, so we get that wrong. But in any case, Sunday is the day of the venerated sun god, Sol Invictus, the unconquerable sun god, pagan sun god. Anyway, but let's not go on that line. But anyway, it was in Denmark. It was changed in 1973. Well, all roads leads to Rome, right? So we joined the European Union, which was called something else, and apparently we corrupted our calendar. And no one seemed to care about it, or seemed to care about it. Just sad. Anyway, so if you know that creation that believes in evolution and all that, even if he might make you seem to lose, well, you can actually only win, standing for the truth. He might, ridicule you in front of a lot of people if you have, if you talk about it or whatever, maybe but you will always win because you're standing for the truth. So it doesn't matter if he actually ridicules you. And who knows? But, again, when you're standing for truth, you cannot lose, because you're standing for truth, But anyway, let's say just one of your classmates or something like that is, he thinks maybe it's silly or whatever, or she, whatever, if it's a... But anyway, I might actually begin to look into it a little, and, who knows, might actually be converted to the truth. And who knows if that person might actually become the next, great light in regards of creationism, You never know. You never know who you actually end up impacting. So even if you maybe just have 1 coin or something like that, you may be the person impacting another one. So even if you might have only 1 coin, you might do actually a great thing, So again, use whatever coins you have, It's just, yeah. So maybe I shouldn't actually make these live recordings because I've seen some of the live recordings and it seems to chop off some of my stuff and all that. But it haven't actually given me a warning or anything. But I should make it on the mobile and then upload it afterwards. It's my bad. But I still don't have that much room on the mobile. It will complain about me not having enough space and all that. So again, you never know who you're going to impact, in regards of things, and just, yeah. So, I haven't slept in the night. I have a lot of issues in regards of a lot of things. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, I'm still not certain if it's going to be the first resurrection or the second resurrection, and I'm still looking into that. But in any case, as long as as long as he's not going to throw me in the lake of fire, I'll be more than happy. Whatever resurrection it will be, but it would be nice with the first resurrection, of course, in regards of the 1,000-year kingdom and all that. But I'm not entirely sure about that. But in any case, this life is just for a short while, but the next one is everlasting, and that seems to stretch. But I guess that's it's a lot better to actually, it's a lot better than to be, dead everlasting, right? And never be anymore, if you're going to be cast into the lake of fire, that's the second death where both body and soul perish forever and ever and ever. So, yeah. Anyway, I should probably stop now. Anyway, the Antichrist, you can just search in regards of Egyptian gigantic idol, erect penis in his front yard. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little, but that's what it is, you just look in his front yard in regards of St. Peter's Square, and what is standing in the middle. And the thing is, the Catholic won't even, what shall we say, they won't even try to, at least I haven't found anyone, that might be some that will say, some, try to, but, but what I have heard is that, there's a cross on top of it. So everything is now okay because this idol, erect penis, this pagan Egyptian phallus has been Christianized, and we have put a cross on top of it. I think that's insane. I think it's utterly insane, Anyway, so I haven't heard any say, well, yes, there's a cross on top of it, Don't worry about that. It has been Christianized. Well, I think if, this institution actually was Christian, it would have been this, this idol standing out there, this pagan idol thing, would have been destroyed long, long ago. I don't think one would put it there in the middle of, this square thing, which is actually not square, it's round. But anyway, yeah. Oh my. But, to see how blind people are, it's just, it's nearly unbelievable that people are so blind, Yeah. Anyway, so be careful of this wicked system, and run to the real Jesus Christ, who died for the sins of the world once and for all, not in regards of a continual, perpetual sacrifice in the whorehouses as the Roman Catholics have. Now, of course, in regards of Christ Mass as well, Christ Mass, that it's, that the Antichrist and Man of 666 is shown on the television. And of course, this is one of the where the Roman Catholics are commanded to be in the church in regards of Christ Mass, which actually in Denmark we call Yule, and goes back to regards of Yulna, and Yulna, as far as I did research on it, it's actually Odin. Funny enough, I guess. Well, I'm not sure it's actually funny, but anyway, paganism again and a false god and all that. Anyway, so Christ Mass, actually that's missing an S. It's actually the Mass of the Roman Catholic sun rays, and then they walk around it with it, and they believe this cookie becomes, Jesus Christ, and they believe this cookie becomes divine, and thereby you're allowed to bow in front of the cookie and worship the cookie and venerate the cookie, because they believe it becomes the literal body, blood, and sinews and soul, and flesh of Jesus Christ. This wicked system, is just outrageous. Just outrageous. Anyway, so drunk by the blood of the saints, and the kings that also have, been drinking, it has been made drunk by her as well, and all that. Read the book of Revelation. It's a wonderful book, and the book of Daniel. But anyway, if you haven't read anything in the Bible, start with Matthew, Mark, Lucas, and John. So then you will know in regards of the good news, in regards of the gospel, because these 4 books are the same thing is pretty much going on, but it's like 4. Well, anyway, so there are some variations, but overall, Luke is trying to, he's listening to witnesses' account and trying to collect everything and all that. But Luke wasn't himself a witness. We have John, who was a witness. That would be the Apostle John. Then we have Matthew, which also was a witness. In any case, that these are sources from the 1st century about the true version of Yeshua. And I found it rather, what shall we say, lacking of word funny when people come, when people that has persecuted the Christians and burned their documents come and tell that we don't have enough evidence for this and that and all that, when the ancestors of these, religions and all that was destroying documents of the Christians and persecuting them and all that, But in any case, that's the way of a Christian, right? If they kill the master, our master, we shouldn't actually expect